All right. Welcome, everybody, to our coverage of this NBFL Game of the Week. On one side, we've got the Chicago Pallbearers, coached by Nomad. The other side, the Green Banana Grabbers, coached by Grue. This is a Week 13 battle, if I recall, well, there's a lot on the line here. With me in the booth, we've got Dash, we've got Wog, although Wog doesn't talk to us a whole lot, but he listens. He's a good guy to have with us as well. But Dash, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. So, I got lucky against Wog earlier and won that game. So, playoff chances are still alive. So.
All right. So, where are you on the level of salt and the level of alcohol? Because I know there's supposed to be levels of both potentially.
Yeah, the drink is poor. There's zero salt. Everything pretty much broke my way.
Okay.
Lots of good dice early, and then a really good wizard. So nothing tactics wise that actually played out in the game had anything to do with it, other than the fact that I removed elf after elf after elf, and then the wizard cleared the ball for me, which also got popped. And
that always helps, I suppose.
Yeah, it makes that easy to do.
But for this game, we've got quite a bit on the line. So, Dash, since you did the NFC portion of our preview probably 1 week ago at this point, what's actually being played for here, essentially?
Yeah, so this is for, first of all, the NFC North, and more importantly, the race for the number 1 seed in that precious bye for the playoffs. But really, winner of this game, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to disrespect 2 teams and say winner of this game is the number 1 seed. Chicago has Mango Soda left. Green Bay has New Orleans left after this. I expect both those coaches to win those games. I just can't see them dropping the ball, especially if the number 1 seed's on the line. So.
Now, we did commentary a week ago. I think it was on Monday a week ago that Chicago tied lowly Nolans. So it's possible.
It is possible, but I think that was just too conservative about all the claw and all the
maybe.
All right. Even though New Orleans doesn't necessarily utilize all the claw they have as well, but they're still a scary team to play.
It's true. Nelfin will attest to that. But as far as the teams on the field go, we have an interesting development. Not a week ago, I believe it was a gorilla getting permed for the Green Banana Grabbers, and instead of trying to ride it out, I don't remember what the injury was off the top of my head, but it was a very good gorilla, at least 4 to 5 skills, went to a very reputable college, very solid career so far, but they replaced him with Clever Decoy, this newest gorilla who's going to have to learn pretty quick here, I imagine.
Yeah, and liking the naming convention on Clever Decoy there, so...
Grue always has some good names and puns and everything else. Alright, so Nomad likewise lost a mummy somewhere along the way this season, so he's got a young one with just guard. He hopes to get block on the damn thing before too long, but we'll see how that goes. Teams are otherwise relatively healthy. There's only one missing player. His name is Punished, and he's not that consequential. The inducements, also not super... there's not a ton of them like we see in some of these matchups. They're just a mere bribe for Chicago, which is nothing. It could be very impactful, but, no wizard, no extra apothecary, no mort, no griff, or whatever else they're talking about in the 2020 discussion earlier.
I did go back and look, and Brandon Mello was killed. I think it was an Apo choice, maybe.
Oh, that's right. He was just straight up killed. Damn. Well...
No, it had to be straight up killed, because that's plus strength, all the skills you want. Gorilla.
Yeah, I mean,
here late in the season.
I don't drink, but I'll trust one of you many fine fellows to pour out one for my old player whenever you get the chance. So, rip to Brandon Mello, or whatever his name was.
Yeah, one strength less player on the team.
That's right. He got plus strength recently as his most recent skill, and it lasted all of half a season at best. Grue actually commenting in the chat that he lost that gorilla in Broadnax, also died along the way, but the doctor was able to give him some CPR and bring him back or something.
Yeah, a couple of strength 6 monsters here in this game. I think Joe is the best big guy in the league. There's guys with better stats, but just from an actual play and use standpoint, he just does so much.
I mean, I think Nelphine would try to argue that point. Not that Nelphine would ever argue a point about something. But, I don't know. He's got a good one in Malcolm Brogdon or something? That's a basketball player. Malcolm Pidgeot? I don't know what his name is, honestly.
It just seems to go stupid all the time. I don't know why, but whenever I'm watching him,
He do the dumb?
He doesn't seem to be a factor.
Okay. Well, this blitz is not really a factor either. There was a wrestle. Yeah, there was a push on the new gorilla, so I mean, it's a good start for Grue so far.
Yeah, and I kind of hated that blitz at first, but that's an easy to remove bonobo. So try to get an early numbers advantage. Just didn't work out.
Yep, 2-die mighty blow against AB7. It makes sense. Wow, that was a. Well, I guess it makes sense with the bribe.
Yeah.
I forgot. I thought he had to do this block still, so I was like, oh, he's doing that before the block, but nah. He's got his order of operations in hand, so. Making a big line of undead and rotting flesh and all that good stuff. Can you imagine the smell on the field in this game if you were like a referee or something? You've got a bunch of rotting corpses on one side, then you got a bunch of gorillas who probably don't bathe very much on the other side.
Flinging chimpanzees, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be awful.
So he's kind of baited that zombie to be surfed. Well, no, never mind. I keep forgetting Devontae Adams is now movement down.
Busted.
So that's
yeah,
not an option.
Who did that to him? Was that you?
No, I tried to hurt that.
You tried. Okay.
See, he's been APO'd against me several times, but he always gets away clean. So.
I can imagine. It's amazing when players like that last as long as they do. Obviously, he's got the movement bust. He was permed previously. I think double permed, and a potion brought him back. But
I actually did get one of the perms that led to the potion.
Okay.
One of the earlier ones, and then the potion brought him back to play against me as a fresh, clean.
Oh, in the playoff game last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times. But it goes to show you how rare some of these players are in their longevity. I, for the first time, had like naturally rolled a stat up on a frog, and it was a frog blitzer, and he got agility. And then for his second skill, he got strength. And then 2 games later, he's dead. So it's fun when you can keep them around for a while.
I'm going to go ahead and throw in the chat the race for the #1 seed and just kind of throw it out there for people to see. But it's basically Green Bay in the driver's seat. If they tie this game, though, it's leaning towards Nelphine and Atlanta. Although he's got to play Carolina, but I think he gets by Warpstone.
Yeah.
Then again, they can one turn. Yeah.
That's true.
So doesn't have 2 easy games, but certainly games he would expect to win.
Yeah, I mean, regular season Nelphine is pretty potent. This blitz, not as much.
Not as much.
No.
But going after the nickel again, they look like they're both just trying to get that man advantage. Going after the nickel guy makes sense. Just sometimes the right plot doesn't work out.
No.
I didn't say it was an easy game log. I just said it was one he would expect to win.
Correct.
Like he did the last one.
Speaking of the last one, when these 2 teams played previously, I think Nomad won, or was it a tie?
I think it was a tie, but I'm going back to look right now. I can get Hummel to cooperate with me. No, it was a 2-0 Green Bay win.
So, was it really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess this matters then as far as the tiebreaker goes. I think you said he's 2 points ahead currently.
No, he's 3 points ahead. So even if they tied, Grue still has the advantage.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they can get the same number of points easily. I guess Chicago would have to win here and then Green Bay would tie next. I don't know. Let's just not worry about that until the time comes.
It would be hard to do.
Oh, Nomad's BRB, and Grue's tossing it to us to fill the airtime.
Well, we can certainly stall and talk about, as we wait for a Finn. Surely he's going to use that here. But no, we can talk about the number 1 seed again. Those 3 teams. Technically, Los Angeles could sneak in there and steal it. They've got a really tough game, and
against Dallas
back
and
to
OTS.
back to disrespecting teams. It seems like I'm disrespecting teams here, but like Philadelphia's won 1 game this season. They're 1-0-11. I can't imagine.
The thing about Fool's team is like
that.
if you looked at his roster and compared it to the rosters of the rest of the division, especially before my team fell apart these last couple of weeks.
Oh, it looks amazing.
It looks like he has the best roster on paper, and it's just not come together on the field for a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
But the game against OTS and Dallas, though, it's not fun playing against dwarves. And Stim plays High Elves differently than other people play them. Like MRT and Stim are like completely different in how they approach the game. But Stim's style, I think, works less against dwarves, you would imagine, because he likes to throw blocks.
I can say that. I would rather play of those 2 players, being Chaos Dwarves, I'd rather play Stim, because I know he's going to try to hit me. And I want people to try to hit me, because I want to trade shots.
Yeah.
Like that's...
You want to be like Rocky and just sit there and...
Whereas, MRT's going to throw the ball 4 times around the field and end up somewhere I don't expect him to be, and that's...
I'm not sure he goes where he expects to be either. He just kind of rolls the dice and see what happens. And
that's what this game's about.
Yeah, playing against dwarves, like personally as frogs, like I don't know what to do in that matchup. Like I don't understand frogs that well. I'm still learning them, and it's just there's no good answers when they have guard everywhere. They're AV9. Both runners are excellent. One's like fast and agile. One's like strong. It's just what do you do?
I think you've done a great job with the frogs, and just because you're patient enough to wait and take the opportunity, when it's time, you don't take it too early. That said, I don't understand why you fell apart here at the end of the season. So again, don't want to throw you under the bus too much here, but
I think
wheels came off.
Injuries, when half your team gets removed against Chaos Dwarfs, it's going to be tough. Now, I did finally get an actual scoop and score on defense against Klaz. I had probably the best fireball I've had in years on Fumble, where I took out legitimately 4 out of the 5 targets, including the ball.
Oh yeah.
Pushed the guy away, picked it up, leapt over someone, handed it to someone, passed it to someone, got downfield, and everything was going great, and then just... If you remember your playoff game against Gark several seasons ago, where he was up early and then you just removed everything.
Yeah, everything went away.
I
watched your game. That's exactly what happened. That wizard was, arguably one of the best. The only thing that didn't work out for you was the ball scattered to a spot where you had to make a crazy play, which you made. So.
Yeah, I think I had
fun to watch. You had to dodge in to pick up the ball, I think.
Yeah, but it was my 4-4 blitzer that later died on turn 17 foul. But, such is life.
Dodging into tackle zones to pick up the ball is still, not what you were hoping for.
No, but you have to have players that do stuff like that in this league. For a while, I've been trying to theorize that, just having a solid team across the board with 3 skills each on the blitzers and all this, no. You have to have these star players to carry teams. Houston wouldn't be what they are without Veronica and Stan, except for the fact that Baz is benching them the last couple games and he's still doing fine. But in general, you have to have a Devontae Adams or a Big Ben like your previous Bull Centaur or stuff like that. Just a Vin Riddick for WOG, because shout out to him. You have to have players like that.
And Amon's also noticing the dead gorilla, so I'll drink with you on that. And congratulations to him being the second team to actually clinch their division in a playoff spot. So
I did not believe in the Charos, but Tijuana's going to the playoffs. AFC is going to be it's going to be interesting. Houston's obviously going to be the favorite. Rel, I think, is going to have something to say about that. Malcor's going to have a good team. He does play Baz, I want to say tomorrow, but Baz has the number 1 seed locked up, so probably won't be much of a contest.
Baz has the number 1 seed. Tijuana is a seed of 2, 3, or 4, depending on where it falls out. But Rel might not win his division.
It's true. Ryan Fitz is coming on strong, and
entirely possible that
he's joining us here in the game chat. It looks like.
So.
And yeah, I mean, Amon's record isn't sparkling.
It's not even him. It's Wolves.
Oh yeah, Wolves is doing pretty damn good too.
Absolutely take him. Yeah, I mean you've got 3 teams above 50 points. Those should all be playoff teams. So Miami, let's just call it New England, and Brewmore Gents are all going to be in the playoffs, I think.
Could we get a foul here on the young mummy by Flinger if he flips around? It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, we're not getting a foul from Grue though.
It's true. That's not really in his repertoire. But I don't see why.
Grue is going to continue to stay in front of him and give him nowhere to run. So. Aww. I do think this sidestepping chimpanzee gets hit hard here, though.
Yeah. Another one of my players may be biting the dust here. Hit the decoy. Hit the decoy. Oh, should have hit the decoy.
Goes for the kicker.
Yep. That's a big block by random zombie. Don't you hate that? You take dodge on somebody and he's like, yes, it's going to be hard to take him down if you don't have tackle. Boom. Pow. Every time.
Yeah. With the sidestep, too, to kind of threaten being near the ball. You mess that block up.
It's true. Not that there was a good way to go either. You could sidestep into the strength 4 tackle, into the frenzy mighty blow guy, Smitherman.
So still plenty of time to work the ball down the field, but there's not a good option to run forward just yet.
Yeah, looks like Broadnax has the northern flank kind of tied down. Got the good gorillas in the middle. Devante's on the ground in the middle, but he's there. And that is the thing, if you just look at it from a chessboard perspective, there is kind of a gap down here. And if you want to, you could maybe swing down there, but that'd be a huge trap.
I would have liked him to follow up that block and then gone for the dirty player hit, which I think he's still going to go do. Dirty player foul on the
Chase. Mr. Garbers, yeah.
Garbers, yeah.
You, Dash, you're a fan of the foul?
I'm a big fan of the dirty player. Dirty player foul on the niggled 87, yes please, but I want that assist. I want that zombie to take a step up. Forget about the perfect cage for just a second.
See, forgetting about the perfect cage for a second has led to the doom of many a coach.
That's true. That is usually where my games go south against Grue. No.
What is it about Grue that just makes him so tough? I haven't played him a ton. I've watched him a fair amount.
He doesn't make the mistake. He's going to be in a good position. He never does anything. So I'll say Stem is the guy that I will watch, and he'll do something that I just don't expect. That's just brilliant. That I'm like, hey, he did something that I wouldn't have thought of.
Okay.
Grue never does that. He just never makes that mistake. He never takes that risk, and his positioning is always just solid, where he doesn't have to.
Okay.
It's like this. It doesn't seem. It's never flashy. It's just solid. Man, it's annoyingly good.
So how is he doing it with Apes, though? Because, every coach who's played this game for a couple hundred games would just, look at Simeon or test them out in league or whatever and be like, this roster is god-awful. There is no way they could be competent at NBFL TV. And yet, here he is every season, kicking some butt.
Because it's NBFL TV and because you can draft those the gorillas, not the 8, but the gorillas with block.
Right. And tackle.
They don't have general access, but it's super easy to get general access in the draft.
Yeah.
Man, and it makes them just really annoying. When all those guys are now block mighty blow
and
tackle mighty blow. And
then
Grab is it again for somebody who positions well. Grab grab is really good, and especially it's one of those one grab is nice, a bunch of grab is just you kind of control the board.
Right.
So, and yeah, you know, the 3+ pickup from a gorilla doesn't hurt at all. Like, anybody can pick up the ball. It's just kind of an underrated thing with the Simian team.
It's true. There's always comes a time in the game where you got a random guy who's the best option to pick up the ball, and this is a team where that actually doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, but normally it's low armor with not a lot of block access on the players you want it on.
True. Actually, Bobo swinging around here for a guard assist is actually pretty big. Now you've got a good block on several targets. Potentially. Oh, standing up Adams. Okay. We're blitzing with Mr. McPain, I guess.
I wasn't expecting that. So what is he going to do with... Just going to hit the zombie?
He's going to throw a block on the zombie, then he can throw a block on the mummy. And again, you've kind of sealed off the middle, so Nomad's either going to have to retreat.
Well, and you know, you've got 2 ghouls, but you can't really run them out there by themselves, and you don't have the support. Because Devontae Adams can go get him if he just goes out there. Or, you know, you got Chris McPain with the break tackle, so he's going to be hard to time. You're going to be able to get somebody. He sprints down the field.
Thank goodness that skill's getting nerfed, because this team is way too strong. He's got 1 break tackle.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Oh, regen now.
Regen. Okay. And here Nomad was saying something about regen not working for him this season.
I mean, that's big for now. That's big for the drive. It's back to 10 on 10.
10 on 10. Quite a few players on the ground. No free blocks, so you target Flinger again. You target... I mean, I think that's really all you can blitz this turn.
I will say we did not get the foul on Chase Garbers last turn.
Oh yeah, what happened?
It didn't happen, and I, you know,
that's a bull hockey.
Solid positioning instead of actually fouling people. You know. Look, I'm just saying, Ryan Fitz is probably the only person more foul happy than me, and he's going to make the playoffs. So
it's true.
Get your boots ready, especially for 2020.
And the only person less foul happy than me is Baz, and he'll make the playoffs. So I'm not sure that actually matters at all. But
well, Grue doesn't foul either. So.
That's true.
How many Super Bowls has he won?
Too many. Well, this is a
obvious
foul coming here.
We're going to get a foul on the decoy.
Yeah. Maybe that's his plan all along.
The unskilled guy is not the one you really want to be fouling, but if it's there, you take it. You got the bribe.
You got plenty of assists, yeah. I mean, there's no way you roll snakes and get caught and get sent off and use your bribe, and that never happens, right? Oh.
No, it never happens. There we go. And that's
new gorilla out. Served all of 3 turns so far in his young career.
Well, and that's the fun thing about the NBFL is he's going to be fired for next game and replaced with a new rookie gorilla. So
you could do that, I suppose. Does he need to against Nolans though? Wouldn't you just like? I guess it depends how much money he has.
It's one more guy to take a hit instead of somebody you like.
Well, just assuming he would induce like a Merc gorilla for a game, or whatever. It depends on the TV, I suppose. But.
I'm assuming he's got the money. Let's see how much money he's got saved up. I'm assuming he's got plenty of money to get another. Yeah, $520K. He's got plenty of money to just
replenish.
Go get another one that looks just like another the zoo and call it a day.
Hey, you want to stay here and end up like Harambe, or do you want to come play some Blood Bowl? It's a pretty easy choice.
Yeah. We'll try to make sure you don't end up like Brandon Miller. You know?
Yeah. I mean, he had a pretty solid run as a player.
He did have a good career. Yeah, solid player.
Didn't win any championships with the Monkeys yet, but it seems like they're due. Let's see how many games some of these gorillas have gotten. Chris McPayne, another one of my former players, 73 games. Devin Still, he's got minus AV, but he's at 67. Hot Pants, one of Jeffro's old players, 72 games. Broadnax is up to 41 already somehow. Wow, I swear that was like a much more recent draft. Clever Decoy, all of 0 games. Let's see.
McPayne, Still, and Adams have been with the team since the beginning, I think.
Sounds about right. Brandon
Adams,
Mello
I think, is homegrown.
Brandon Mello was only 10 games, actually. He was a
and
young
Aaron
monkey.
Jones. Aaron Jones is 74.
Wow. How many big plays has he made over his career? That's a guy who sits on the bench, collects a paycheck, and makes one clutch play a game. That's quite the life.
That's another guy I think I do a good job of hitting every game, and he's just still there. No block. He just invites himself to be hit in the face.
Yeah, reminds me a bit of Bortles, I guess, from MRT's team, who finally, I think, bit the dust, but he was around for so long, and I think he broke my passing, or I think I did like the NBFL completion record with a random Dark Elf thrower somehow, and then Bortles probably shattered it, and we just stopped caring about stats, so no one mentioned it. Going for contact here, you gotta do something about that mummy, I suppose.
Yeah, I think this blitz is...
And then he throws a block with Broadnax first.
Yeah.
I guess we're going straight for the mummy. Yeah, and then we're gonna chain. I would chain the zombie away, I guess. So. Oh no, we're gonna put him in contact and make him do stuff. I guess. Okay. Well, now things are. This is where it's tough. Like, this is what Grue does to you. You're just like, okay, it's turn 5. I'm barely over midfield. I don't have any blocking in front of me to clear a path. I'm tagged by tackle. I've got a sidestep, Raj diving tackle guy down here cutting off the sideline. I've already used my blitz. I mean, that is a pretty big knockdown.
Yeah, and sidestep on those gorillas. Come on, that's just not fair.
Would you rather them have stand firm or probably neither, if we're being honest?
Yeah. Well, he's got a good mix of both.
It's true.
So, or he did. Let's just say he did. Now he's got one of each.
Probably go northeast here, imagine. What do you think about these like strength 4 and basically just like these developed zombies versus just having a bunch of chaff with one skill? What's your take on that?
It's working. I didn't like it. Like, I didn't worry about it, but it's just so much strength on the field when he actually starts fielding them all. Like, you don't expect to be that much outgunned by zombies.
It's true. You're like, okay, I got to deal with the strength 5 mummy. Oh shit, there's a strength 6 mummy. Oh, there's probably a strength 4 white. Oh shit, the ghoul has strength 4 too. Oh my god, all the zombies have strength 4. Like, who am I gonna block?
Yeah,
that's a fair point. The TV thing doesn't seem to have bothered him too much because Undead are still kind of a relatively cheap team at TV, but he has lost quite a few of the strength 4 zombies throughout this season. One is on the bench because he got hurt and regened. One's on the field. I'm guessing the third got then because I remember him having more.
Yeah.
This is.
Well, you got the niggled one. I think is probably liability at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't not feel the 4 skills and a plus strength. You know, you got to have him out there.
Otherwise, he's just
hope that he regens, which he did.
Yeah, just hope it works. He did throw the 1 die. Okay.
So pretty important 3+ dodge out here, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, no Blood Bowl game has ever been lost on a 3+ dodge, so I think it's safe to say this is pretty easy here.
He's got 6 rerolls left, so.
Yeah, it's true. I think he got one in the kickoff because I don't think he has 6. Yeah.
No, I just got that many. You start throwing some rerolls on some blocks at the end of turns. I guess I haven't paid enough attention to know if he's just knocked everybody down at the end of the turn every time. But
it feels like most of the blocks he's thrown have been knockdowns. He didn't do that foul early, but I don't think he needed to like dodge or anything, so he hasn't really needed to use them per se. But he may have to here because he's not staying in contact. I can almost guarantee that.
Yeah, where's he gonna go with the ball? He's almost gonna have to retreat pretty far back, I think, to get away.
Yeah, you have to.
That mummy's gonna get hit.
Yeah, mummy's getting. You can't block off Mr. Adams. Okay. He escapes for now. You could probably park yourself southwest of the zombie, or.
Okay. Yeah, sidestep.
The ghoul does have sidestep, but this still feels like a trap. A foul. Okay, that's actually a pretty big stun. Kind of secures this area for a bit.
Oh, this could be.
Chris McPayne blocks Pritchett, although we need another assist potentially.
You can.
Or do we want to use Adams?
You can surf the light.
Yeah, I want to surf
zombie if you really want to.
Smitherman for sure. Devon still has guard, so we can bring him down. Block the mummy with McPayne. Then you've got 2 free guys to do some shenanigans with. You could actually almost envelop this and get a surf on the ghoul if you wanted to.
I don't know if you can. Can you get guys to the back there?
Well, here,
2 guys to the back. He's got sidestep.
Let's just theorize. We take Devon Still, put him in between the zombie and the mummy, block the mummy with McPayne, assume we get a knockdown, and then you've got Bobo and Adams free. We can come around from the north. Well, he's doing something different. But same premise. You can come in from the northwest and block Smitherman, or blitz him, and then I don't know. We'll see what Grue decides to do. It's probably better than what I was going to come up with, if I had to take a guess.
Well, I was going to try to surf both those guys, but that would put Adams on the sideline, and I think he would be safe, but maybe not.
Okay, so now we're
just going to push guys out of the way and go hit him with. We're going to surf him. This is a better surf. If he makes a 3+ dodge with a kicker.
No, you've got McPayne here to do it. 1, 2, 3. Come in. Oh.
Well, yeah.
Well, that works too.
We got grab. They all have grab. We're idiots.
Oh yeah. See, it's such a basic thing. Like you're just like all 4 gorillas have grab. The silverback has grab. So what's the first thing we forget about? Grab.
Grab. Yeah.
Jesus.
There's just so much of it. You forget that it works on the blitz
sidestep, too. Yeah. It is a very underrated skill. I do like it. So we're sitting here like surf this guy, surf that guy. Off. Oh god.
Yeah, pick up with a kicker and hand off. Oh, I don't like that. I would have liked to have him on the right where he was, and then go pick up the kicker and hand off to Adams and kind of make the
screen.
Not a cage, but protect Adams from the bottom.
We're gonna look like fools when they come back and watch this. Yeah. Broadbacks, no. Oh well.
Yes. He does not hand off.
Probably just go backwards.
Hold on to the ball, kicker. And not Adams. I was thinking Chase Carver's to hand off to. I got my chimpanzee's confused.
Yeah, I mean, they're both pretty damn good. I think you just go backwards. Because Smitherman, the other white, the ghoul are really the only players who are mobile enough to do anything. But
you could go north a little bit too.
Maybe.
It's gonna be really hard to. Well, yeah, go backwards.
Trust me, Wog, Dark Elf offense is trickier than it appears sometimes.
Well, and when your cage gets blown up by a wizard.
Yeah, that changes things a little bit.
Kind of affects your play. So let's, there's nothing exciting going on here. Just Grue stealing the ball and stepping away. Let me put the rest of the playoff stuff and we can kind of start chatting about the wild card.
Okay.
So that's what it is right now. Put it in Discord and I will just speak to it for people not in Discord listening to this later. Right now you've got Arizona with 52 points and they've only got one game left. And I mean, really, Los Angeles, Arizona, both these teams are probably in for sure. It's who's going to win the division. Could absolutely be Arizona if Los Angeles can't get by Dallas. And Dallas is not an easy out, especially for Elves.
No.
The Dwarves are tough. The fun thing is, you have me next at 50 points now with just Warpstone left.
How did this happen?
It's just a smoke and mirrors, man. Smoke and mirrors. But good late season push. So I think if I win my game, I'm in. You've got Woodington and Dallas. One of those is going to win the division, and the other one is likely not going to be a playoff team. Woodington is on the outside looking in, I think, right now.
They did lose this week, right?
Yeah, they lost this week, and that was,
San Fran?
They can get to 55 points, which I don't think is going to be enough to get that 7th seed. Dallas has 2 games left, so there's a really good chance they don't win the division, but they've got to get by the Glams. That's the rub there.
It feels like that
Arizona, again, the other team fighting for playoff spots, so it's just really crowded there at the top. San Falcons sneak in. They've got to get by you. You can pull it together, maybe.
I don't have a whole lot to work with, man.
You can play spoiler, or you can play for a draft pick.
Dude, I'm 16.
There's a real chance that a win
TV
doesn't
right
do anything
now.
for them. They've only got the 1 game left. Seattle controls their own destiny. They've got Philadelphia and Dallas.
We got a foul on another gorilla, and he's out.
That's a big foul. It does look like Grue's going to get a stop here.
True. Now, if Nomad wants to stay in this game, he has to prevent a score. And both chimpanzees are down there. We've got another bonobo.
Yeah, you could surf this zombie, which doesn't mean much, but probably kind of secures your position.
Yeah.
Get the ball to chase Garbers.
I mean, it's risky, but you could do the 2-die with Bobo. You could free up McPain to blitz the ghoul. You go hand off to Garbers, and you've almost got a clear path. The 2 whites are kind of in the way, but
Yeah, I don't think you can get around those whites. I think he's going to want to cage up, kind of right where that OL number 65 is. Push him out of bounds and cage up over there.
yeah, you could do that too. You got
Yeah,
a little,
2
you got a little
turns
bit
to
of
get
time.
Garbers down the field.
Or Broadnecks. He does that break tackle.
Yeah.
And extra arms.
And extra arms. Yeah, again, sneaky. He is a wild animal, though. So
Fair.
got blitzing free. And he's got to go now. He can't wait. I guess, yeah, maybe you could. With Lunger, though, you don't want to make those go for it. You got to get him moving.
He's a big boy, but he can get there if he wants to. We also want to try to free up Adams, but he's marked by tackle. So we'll see if he dodges away or blitzes his way free, or... Is that a reference I'm supposed to understand, or...
That is
a player?
Murder.
Field?
Yeah, that is a murder. I'm trying to see who he's looking for there. Murder monkeys. That's what it is.
Oh. It's backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's it.
Of course Fitz would.
So, do you risk the dodge out with Adams to go hit the ghoul, maybe?
If you don't get it, well, tackle zone doesn't matter. You're strength 5. Or I guess the assist. Maybe at the end of the turn.
I think you almost... Man.
You could set up a sideline screen with Bobo if you move him to column 12 on the Chicago side of the field. And then get Carbers kind of down there. You do risk the Frenzy Surf from Smitherman, but...
Yeah, we're going to hand over to Carbers now, though. I think if you do the Frenzy Surf, you're giving the Monkeys that really good chance to score. Nice safe handoff to protect the ball if it didn't work.
True. I mean, when you roll a 6, you don't need to do anything to protect the ball.
He may just, like I said, maybe he blitz first.
It's true, it is relatively
Blitz first,
safe
if you frenzy, you push him away so you don't have to dodge out on the second hit.
And just roll 6s, it's fine.
Yeah, push him towards the end zone and hit him again.
Yeah. Get him.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Game's easy.
Just roll 6s and POWs, forehead. 6s
and POWs. No, now he can set up a nice cage with Bobo and Adams in the way.
Bobo the Bumbo.
Carter's just running for it.
A true hero. I mean, Smitherman is agility 5, so he could get there if he wanted. He doesn't have tackle. This is not the formation I envisioned.
Yeah, 2 go for it with the reroll.
Oh, yeah.
And not liking the Monkeys taking the early score.
I mean, you may not like the Monkeys taking the score, but I think they earned it. They played solid defense. They got a 2-die on the ball that neither of us saw because we were so focused on the surf. And we forgot about grab canceling sidestep. And, yeah, they've done what they needed to do.
We saw the hit on the ball. I was no doubt the ball was getting hit. It was just I don't know, maybe I didn't see the hit. I was too busy thinking on the surf.
Yeah.
I am drinking in celebration after sneaking my way through a game.
Be like that sometimes. Opening a turn with a 2-die block without block. Bold. It's like Dutch was watching and he said he left for 5 minutes and look what happened. So I imagine the ball used to be over here on this sideline in the hands of a ghoul, and now it's way over here in the hands of a monkey. So Grue comes at you fast like that.
And that stun on the ghoul is just nice knockout.
Playing for the second half, it seems.
Yeah. Again, the tie is good for not great for Nomad, but
I mean, at this point, he's in, right? He's got like 50-something points.
He is not in.
Oh.
But if he loses this game and ties Mango Soda, he's in. So he's probably. I mean, like I said, I think he's going to beat Mango Soda.
So just hypothetically, you're telling me that if he doesn't happen to win this game, like he loses, you're telling me Lorbass has a chance to knock this team out of the playoffs. And then switch races. That would be the most epic thing we've had happen in quite some time.
And not might have a chance to knock him out. For sure, we'll knock him out of the playoffs.
And guaranteed. Okay. So what are we doing here? Are we taking our White or somebody and tagging Adams and using our agility 5 to go for a 1-die and hoping for a POW or a boat down, or what are we doing here?
Guy who can maybe just dodge through. I mean, it's tackle there, but it's 2+2+. You've got 6 rerolls still.
Well,
I mean, things haven't gone horribly for Nomad, which is what, again, Grue's earned this for sure. It's not like
it's not 2020 though, where you could use all 6 in one turn if you had to.
Yeah, use them all, but you just need 1 dodge.
Well, the tackle
doesn't 1-die hit on the ball
matter, but yeah.
1-die hit on a guy that has wrestle, and you have, Oh, he doesn't have tackle, he has frenzy, so...
Correct, the ghoul has frenzy. Interesting that he's just trying to mark with tackle, which is like the safe play, but I'm not sure it's the play that saves you here. We'll see where Smitherman ends up. I mean, if you get in front of Garbers, it's certainly tougher. Is he trying to bait?
I mean, Grue's got 4 rerolls left too.
Is he trying to bait the diving tackle? Because I did that once against Baz. We were playing back when he was Skaven, and I was Darko, so this is a long, long time ago. And do you diving tackle here? You get away from the tackle zombie, you put the white on the ground, and you lose the ball, but you got the better board position. But basically I dodged in and out of a tackle zone like twice, and Baz kind of like just auto-clicked, used the diving tackle, because it's just habit, and it opened up a hole in the cage so I could hit the ball carrier.
Nice.
I'm not sure that would work nowadays.
Yeah.
I think this is actually a situation where using diving tackle has merit. You got 2 turns, so it's not like you'd be out of range of scoring. And at worst, Adams has extra arms, so he's a 2+ pickup as well. Grue left and then joined for the last segment there. Okay.
Oh. Yeah, apparently my client bugged out too, so I got to reload.
Looks like mine's okay. It just kind of like flickered on me to get the white repositioned. I don't know. I'd have to look at that more closely, but I think using diving tackle there would have been actually pretty.
What say the crowd? You know,
advantageous. I don't know.
Yeah.
We can ask. I suppose I could have asked a more like specific question, but. Yeah, I guess if you stay on your feet, you can always just try to surf this guy.
Oh, you can't surf him with double POW, so.
Yeah. Ryan Fitz doesn't have a DP close enough to make it worth it. Well, if that's your lens for everything, then Blood Bowl is a little different than how the rest of us played, I suppose. I imagine, I don't know how many of you guys play the Civilization series, but whenever you play Civilization 6, for example, you're basically on a hexagon grid, a bunch of terrain, and it's got forests and features, and you can settle a city for food and production, all this stuff. And there's different lenses you can view the map with, and it's like fresh water versus resources and all this other stuff. So I imagine Ryan Fitz has a lens for when he plays Blood Bowl, and it's for how good the fouls are. It's like, oh, this one's a +3, this one's a +2. So that's how he views the game.
Yeah, I have a similar lens. I'm always looking for what's the assist. You know, can I break on a 6? If I roll a 6 on the armor, am I gonna break? That's
the green-red heat map. Okay, I see.
probably a little more conservative than Fitz. Fitz is, I think, if he can break on a 10, he's gonna make it out.
That reminds me of the. There was a very epic NCBB playoff semifinal between, unfortunately, Nelphine, so we already know where this is going, and Garkangel. Back when Gark had this just ridiculous Wood Elf roster, he had like a 4-stat catcher, stats on both ward answers. Like, this team was absolutely rigged. And Nelphine had a slightly better record, so there was like a 1 versus 4 playoff semifinal. And you only get 4 fouls in NCBB, right? It's a little different.
Yeah.
His first foul he used on the tree, and he did break armor and removed it from the game. But later on, when he couldn't remove the ward answers with his other fouls, I imagine he would have really liked to have that foul back. But after the game, of course, I was like, you had 4 fouls, and you used one on an AV10 tree. Like, come on, man. I know it's nice having that off the field so you can just kind of move
yeah,
over, but
when you're surrounded by Wood Elves, I mean, you gotta you've got to know you're going to get a shot at a one answer at some point.
He had 3, and he couldn't break armor after breaking the 10 the first time, I guess. Not Broadnax. Nomad still hasn't used that bribe, though.
I think we're going to get a dodge out foul here, which I'm okay with. Oh, no, go one more. One more. Oh, I needed to go one more so we could get there without a go for it on this white.
Whoops.
I see. Yeah, I didn't do it.
You had the reroll. I guess you were saving it for the dodge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't need it. Nice KO.
Still
nice.
Doesn't get
solid.
Huh?
Solid foul.
Yeah. Baz pointing out that Carolina's points are different than what you have in the chat.
Oh, I didn't give him credit for
Something.
something. Really?
Did they get points for losing today? Got him. Got him. Alright, so if you told Grue that at halftime he'd have a 1-0 lead, he'd be missing 2 gorillas, one very inconsequential for next week, and Broadnax is out, and that's it. Obviously, you take that any day of the week, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I mean, the second half is not going to be easy. You're down 3 of your 5 strength players, but you've got 12. You've got a lead. At worst, like 99% of the time, you're getting out of here with a tie. So, I think you'd be very pleased with yourself at this point. And like you said, 5 out of 6 on the KOs is not bad. Although I guess 4 of them are his, but still. It's okay, Dash. You're not the only person to underestimate Wog. Or undervalue him, or under something.
There we go. Fixed. Easy enough. So yeah. Log's at 51 points and has that level left. So.
That's a brutal game, though, to finish your
He
season.
He's still got a good chance to get in the playoffs. He's just got to win. He's got to win a tough game.
Could he tie and get in theory?
No. Maybe. I mean, things would have to really break his way for that to happen, but it looks unlikely. You've got Seattle. I mean, Seattle looks like they're going to be at 51 points playing Dallas, you know. And again, maybe not. I mean, Philadelphia could absolutely win these last 2 games and surprise me, but
I mean, they just have to get a few rolls.
a 1-0-11 team playing 2 teams fighting for playoff spots is not giving me any faith that they're going to turn it around now.
True. Cheering fans again. Both teams getting an extra reroll. Interesting spot for the ball, though. Now, if you coupled that with a blitz, I mean, oh, now we're on.
Oh, yeah, that's... But instead, we're going to smack this dirty player zombie out of the way. Probably make a pretty decent cage we run back from.
See, most teams would be like, oh man, I got to get my movement 6 orangutan over there and I'd barely be within range, so what do I do? But it's like, oh, literally either of these 2 random ass monkeys can just pick up the ball on it too.
Yeah.
We already saw it. I think it was Bono earlier who picked up the ball after the turnover.
Bobo's already had the ball once this game. He's going to be it with the thrower, though. He's going to let Aaron Jones do what he does.
Grab the ball and sit there for about 4 turns waiting for an opening. Ooh. Very
No
nice.
regeneration. Not that.
I think
Not that players should be coming back.
I think he's 50-50 so far on them. I remember in my game, you were probably watching at the time, where I had that very untimely pro fail, and then the next turn class also failed his pro roll, and I was like, man, this is the worst skill of all time. It doesn't ever work.
2020 Pro is much better. It's a 3+ now, so it's.
Is it always a 3+?
Yep.
Okay, I'm thinking of it's loner that can be a 3+.
Yeah, the loner can be variable, but the Pro is just a 3+. So for big guys.
Damn.
It's gonna be really interesting to see this at the high TV and see what people are taking skills they want.
I can't.
Things like Pro. I think we're gonna see a lot of Pro.
I can't imagine what MRT's teams are gonna look like. They're already kind of like a toolbox where you've got like one of everything, but Christ Almighty, he's gonna have some weird players. Just wait till like 6 seasons down the road when the NCBB finally goes through and switches and then has graduating classes with all these like randomized skill players. I don't know how many of us are going to take like a bunch of just random skills on linemen, but you get a good 3-4 skill one with actual like desirable skills, and then you get them in the pros, and who knows what will happen.
So what are you going to do for the making sure guys stick around 4 seasons? Are you going to turn off the redraft feature? Because you've already got that kind of built in.
Yeah, I mean, our redraft feature, no offense to Games
4
Workshop, it's already better than the one they have, so we're gonna stay how we are. It just fits the lore of college football too well.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
Why have you never joined our ranks? Are you just too busy? You only got time for one league or something?
No, I keep meaning to, and you keep starting right when I'm like about to ask when you're going to start again. And then now it's kind of been like, well, I'll wait till they switch rules and then I'll jump back in.
Yeah, it is kind of a weird time.
I've sent coaches your way, so I've got some of our other Texas coaches and
Okay.
Hyperbo Lemur and Dirthu. And...
Yeah, like those guys. Hyper has been incredibly helpful over the last couple of years. He actually basically does all the scheduling for me now, and it's a godsend.
No, he's great. Both of those guys are great. So,
except Dirthu, because he's like a Texas Tech fan or something.
They're both Texas Tech fans. So,
actually, Hyper runs Texas Tech as his team. So
you can't. They're not great. They're not perfect. I'm just saying they're good guys.
Better than an Aggie, though. Am I right?
Hey, LSU got that win.
It's true. I don't like LSU either. There's a lot of schools I don't like. Don't get me started on Notre Dame. What a shitty school.
Well, rumor is we're getting their stinking coach, and LSU's getting Brian Kelly. So
that would be a weird fit.
I hate it, but anyway, I don't really care. I kind of the playoff system's killed college football for me, so I hate it. But monkeys are not looking.
How did it kill it? It's, instead of getting the same 2 teams every year, you just get the same 4 teams every year.
Yeah, well, you get the same 4 teams every year, and more importantly, the regular season no longer matters. It no longer matters when that Oregon loses late.
Well,
2 a.m. game.
It did, because now Oregon's no longer in the picture.
I didn't even know they lost this year. I just was using that as an example.
Okay.
But I mean, it used to be every game actually mattered. The regular season was the one sport where the regular season mattered, as opposed to say college basketball, where theoretically you could lose every regular season game and still be the national champion. The system is dumb.
I'm not sure the conference tournaments would invite you. I don't know exactly how all that works.
No, you get to go to your conference. A lot of the conferences, everybody goes, and if you win your conference tournament, you're the champion. And if you, it's a stupid system. It's unlikely to happen, but it's possible.
I don't know. Having the 2 theoretical best teams and not being able to prove it on the field was always kind of a bummer too.
Yeah.
So there's no perfect system. No one likes watching a 8-8 wild card team beat your favorite team in the playoffs in the first round of the NBA and the NFL either. So it's just
Yeah, the Giants were the best team when they beat the Patriots to win the Super Bowl, but that's.
Oh, God.
Things happen.
Eli Manning is probably going to end up in the Hall of Fame because people just care about the wrong things. That dude was not even a top 10 quarterback for more than 4 years of his career. that dude was Garbaggio for much of his career. But he had 2 good postseasons when it mattered, and that's all they're going to look at.
Well, I think the NFL Hall of Fame has really gone the way of the "Are you on TV? Okay, you get in." And let's be honest, the Monday night Manning cast is the best thing going right now. So
I've never watched it. I've seen a few clips, but it's a hard job doing commentary. Yeah, especially when you're not getting paid. No, it's hard to keep people interested, especially if you're assigned, like, God forbid, like a Jets versus like Houston game. It's like no one like gives an absolute crap. So
players' parents aren't even watching anymore.
exactly. I know that I imagine we'd probably let Grue stay Simeon if he wanted to in 2020. I'm not sure exactly how that would work, but I know I've seen him in the chat be tempted by old Corn. So, have you looked at that race at all? Have you played them, or do you have any thoughts on those boys?
I saw you and Jeffro struggle with them.
No.
And I know the roster's slightly different.
We're talking about much better Corn. Like this, it's a night and day. These rosters.
It's much better.
Yeah.
Is it better? Yeah, sure. Is it much better?
I would argue that it's still a lot of frenzy, but when you
the problem. So I played at the Cornus team, whatever, the Frenzy Elves, basically in the secret league. And that was a fun team to play, but eventually that frenzy, you just can't be where you want to be. And then if you don't have the armor to keep you on the field, you're in a lot of trouble.
That's true.
This was kind of a risky
turn
up here to, kind of almost left the shot at the ball for no reason without that dodge out. I mean, that's AG4, I get it. But...
Curse that AG4. I don't know. I think going from mass, I was talking to Baz the other day, I was like, you mean to tell me a team with mass movement 6, mass agility 3, no strength 4, your best player is also your most unreliable player with 2 nega traits.
Yeah.
And everyone has frenzy, so like you said, they're not in the position you want to be. And your best ball carriers are AB7. But they have regen, which is nice. You're telling me that team's not going to be any good? No. It was not a good roster. I learned a lot, and I am glad I'm not playing them anymore. Jeffro is too in the Twitch chat, apparently. I haven't got able to use the new one yet, but having this 4th Strength 4 Warriors seems just like a monumental change.
It should help, but I don't think it fundamentally fixes all those problems you just talked about. I think it's still going to be a struggle.
Well, you're still slow. You still have to deal with the frenzy and all the pros and cons of that, but...
The agility and the armor's not great.
It's just the strength. Like, when you're a team that needs to block and you couldn't engage strength teams, like if you got locked up by a chaos team, a lizard team, a nurgle team, like you're dead in the water. At least Norse had or has the 2 Ulfen whatevers, which strength 4 you could start your turn with the 2-die block, but that team was rough.
Yeah, another fun thing is, I'll tell you, 2020, skilling is harder because random MVP again. You don't get to pick 3. It's back to random.
So much.
So you're not going to be able to land those MVPs on those strength 4 players like you want to, especially in something like NBFL where you're going to have, a 14-player roster, 16-player roster. Those MVPs are going to land wherever they land.
That's out of all the changes, that's the one that bothers me the most. I know some people hate passing changes. Some people hate this and that. Like the random, I play Lizards and one other team, and that's pretty much it. And so losing that, really hurts. I don't care about the break tackle. I haven't really used it that much. But losing the ability to MVP my Sorai specifically is just really brutal.
Yeah, the nice thing about it from, for teams like and we won't see a lot of these probably, but Snotlings and Underworld and Goblins, those teams where you don't want that skill all the time, and where it used to be in 2016 rules, you get 6 SPP, you have to take a skill, you have to increase your value.
Right.
Now you can really just sit on it, and you're Snotling. You want a cheap Snotling, you keep them a cheap Snotling. There's no reason to take a skill. You just don't have to.
There's no reason to even have that roster, but that's another discussion.
Yeah, but I mean, from things like even Chaos Wars. If you don't want your hobo to get a skill, don't get a skill. Just sit on it.
Or just
wait for the next redraft. Yeah, wait till the next redraft. See if you roll something good, or don't, and don't take the buy him cheaper and then get the skill after. If you know what you're going to take, if you're going to get that dirty player, hang on to the SVP until the redraft is over. Save 20K.
Exactly. So Grue here, I mean, you just run the ball backwards at this point, right? You have no reason.
Yeah,
Nope. I was gonna say no reason.
He's doing what he should do. Nomad really has to do something to go get that ball. He's got to threaten the ball, and instead he's just getting punched a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you want to wait for your shot, but you also have to kind of force the issue. Having the ghouls
Well, you can't
not doing anything.
And really, he needs to be playing for a win. He doesn't even need to be playing for a tie. A tie likely gives Grue the division anyway.
True.
It probably gives Nelfi the #1 seed, gives Grue the division, so a tie is just all around bad for Chicago.
Well, how does that work with Green and Baynana? How do they get the #1? Do they need Atlatl to lose as well, or what was the points? Atlatl's at 54.
Well, they play New Orleans next, which you got to think is some good points for them.
Okay.
But if they win this game, Atlatl's got to win out and hope that if they tie New Orleans and there's a tie, we have to look at records. I didn't dive into that, but I mean, I would expect Green Bay just to win out, and maybe they tie because they're trying to protect some pixels, but
yeah. Malcor, looks like you're here. You got any thoughts on your game against Baz tomorrow, where he's probably not going to be trying?
Yeah, we've already had a whole discussion. I already know he's sitting everybody important for as long as he can to keep me from killing him.
Damn.
So now the real trick's good. I mean, ultimately, I need to at least tie my way out to lock the division. If I win against Baz, then I lock the division. I'm of course going to try to win. I'm going to try to kill as many things as I want to, but my team hasn't been doing that this season for some reason. It's been very frustrating.
But you're still winning, though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have your division locked up, but you almost have your division locked up.
Well, I think Bleaksburg got upset the other day by Asti, right? So that probably helped.
They did, but if I looked at the points right, if I lose both and he wins both of the last 2 games, then we tie, and he has the tiebreaker.
Oh.
Okay, I was going to ask you who had the tiebreaker, so.
But yeah, for some reason I have I have great luck against KZ everywhere else except this league.
If you lose and tie and he wins both of his games, you have the same points. So he can get to, just looking at it, 57 points. You're at 54 right now. You both have 2 games left.
So basically,
he's at 43. You're at 54.
So basically, all you have to do is beat a team that's not trying.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the grand scheme, I have to look at tomorrow of I have to win and I have to try to play as hard and break as much. I have to expect to play Bells twice in the grand scheme of things.
Okay.
Because if I win out through win my first playoff game or second playoff game, I end up playing Baz again. So I got to keep that in my mindset.
Yeah.
But I mean, it also does look like you're in the playoffs. I mean, even if you don't win your division, 54 is probably good enough to get you in the playoffs.
Oh no, not Bono. Well, at least he'll still be here with us as a shambling corpse of himself.
Well, at least it wasn't Poopar. Poopar is
He's the hero that Gotham needs.
He's my fan favorite. I don't know.
Where is Poopar?
Look at him down there, ready for a touchdown.
Oh yeah, way downfield. Look at that little guy, trying to hide in the logo and stuff. But no, the AFC overall is a bit thinner So 54 points sounds like it should be plenty. But, from the perspective of a team that's not going to sniff the playoffs, I think if you get in, you feel like you have a shot against most teams.
I think so.
I mean, we saw that Amon locked up his spot in the AFC. Baz has locked up his spot. We're assuming Malcor is going to make it. Other teams that you have to deal with are at least 2 from the AFC East, I imagine. Probably 3.
I think you're getting all 3. I really do. I think you get Miami, New England, and the New York. I'll make it.
Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't want to deal with Miami in a 1-game scenario. Not that New Ziggurat or Brewmore have been any easier to beat this season. But
I think you've got the Icelandic Don'ts and the Leaksburg Stranglers fighting it out for that last wild card spot in the AFC.
Well, I've got Iceland last week.
Oh.
So I'll have to get through me to earn it.
Very nice. Yeah, so it's an interesting playoff group. You don't want to assume it's, Houston's going to sweep through it, but we'll see who emerges to challenge them, I suppose.
I don't know how Houston has been doing what they've been doing, so.
Something is clicking with that team right now. Baz figured out how he wants to play the Woodies, and he's doing it very well, obviously.
Well, he's really good with Wood Elves. You forget that he's good with Lizards, but he's also really good with Wood Elves.
Apparently. I thought he hadn't ever played Wood Elves before.
Apparently, he's really good with. No, I thought he was good with Elves. Just in general.
I don't remember him playing Wood Elves before. I thought he said he didn't have much experience with them. I could be wrong.
Lies.
He's just trying to misinformation us. Okay.
Looking at his team page now, that's the only Wood Elf team. Who knows how many are buried and retired teams.
Looks like Nomad's making a push here. He's going to force Grue to do something.
You were right, though. It's too late. He needed to win this game, not just try to tie. I think.
Yeah, he really needed the win here. He's just not going to get it. It doesn't look like. So.
Yeah. But as long as he ties, you should probably get in. Dutch distracted me in the chat. In Twitch, he says, Malcor loses playoffs because he gets soft pushing me and Uber around. Wow.
Ooh,
tough talk from a division rival. I mean, I wouldn't say it's his fault that you and Uber just haven't really found your footing in the NBFL. And Malcor came in with a rookie Chaos team and made the playoffs his first year, if memory serves. So, what's your excuse, you Kemri and you Skaven bastards? I mean, Kemri obviously are just dogs.
Yeah, Kemri
are
whatever
dog
excuse you want to give me.
No, I'm not going to give anybody shit for that. I mean, I'm the dude who lost the Poods in the AFC Championship game when he had Kemri, so maybe I can't talk shit about Kemri at all. But I did miss next game his best blitzer, which hurt him against Grue in the Super Bowl.
So you gave Grue a Super Bowl, and now you're bragging about it.
Yeah.
I can't give anybody crap this season because I may only have 2 losses, but one of them was to Minnesota. So,
wow. They're good for one good upset every season. What was the secret to the OWA success in that game? Was there a secret formula they found, or was it just random chance?
I hit him with pillows and he rolled perfect dice.
Oh. Yeah, that's usually a formula for success.
Yeah, everybody's had that Blood Bowl game where just I push and push and push and push all game, and I'll give him one blitz back, and he'll get it, and he'll get a removal. It just that game frustrated the hell out of me because just everything I tried, I was out positioning. He admitted that I outplayed, but it's a dice game,
and you couldn't do anything about it. That is frustrating, but at least that wasn't an important game. So just don't do that in the playoffs, and I think you'll be fine.
I will catch the ball this time. I swear.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got 3
And
losses
how
this
did we
season. 2
all
of them to Chicago and 1 of them is
roll in
to
that?
Alcor in
Hey,
Cleveland.
it's haunted me all season.
Looks like Grue has retreated back with the ball. He's got Garbers slightly downfield. He's going for a block or blitz on somebody. Not Mr. Adams. Okay, he's fine.
He can retreat because, again, he doesn't have to score here. He just can sit back here all day, and if Nomad doesn't go get him, I mean, you certainly can't win, but you won't even tie if you don't go back there and get the ball.
True. I think if we're just throwing odds out there, we're going to assume Houston's the favorite in the AFC. If Grue gets the number 1 seed, which it looks like he's on track to do here, is he the favorite in the NFC, or are we going to give Chicago a chance in a rematch, or Nelfine, despite his playoff record, or Stim, or
Nelfine
Dash,
never gets to play
or
Grue.
I'm just throwing names out there. Like, is Grue the favorite, or are we going to take the field?
It's hard not to make Grue the favorite, but I mean, with a new gorilla, and he's got a Nagel chimp that's important.
And speaking of the devil, just got knocked out, yeah.
I'm not sure this is his year. Which means for sure he's going to win now.
Which means yeah. He's at the Apes for, I mean, at least, 5 seasons now, based on number of games played? I think, actually, I was talking with Nomad yesterday in the chat, and I think 23 was the first time? So it'd be 23,
Yeah, 23 was the first season. When I
27,
came in, I got his frogs.
Okay.
I came in midway through 22. Yeah. So I came in late to the 22 season. So I got the draft after everybody else had already drafted.
Scraps, yep.
I got the scraps, which was fine. But I played as frogs then, and then it's been monkeys ever since.
Okay, so this should be their 5th season.
This is his 5th season.
Yep. So, I mean, I think at this point we're actually surprised that he hasn't gotten 1 title with them. He's been close several times. He was in the Super Bowl last season, for example. It feels like he's due. It feels like he's due. Then you can switch to Corn and teach us all how Frenzy is actually the best skill in the game, and we were all wrong.
He's the player to beat for sure. Like, he's the guy you're looking for.
Is he really trying to chase him with the mummy?
One more time, is he trying to what?
Chase him with the mummy.
I think he made him do something. I don't know that it matters, but
No, having the 2 ghouls downfield to guard the random monkey doesn't really do much.
you've got a zombie that's about to go in the crowd.
It's been a slow journey, but yeah, every turn he's been getting a little bit closer. Okay, bye. I think that was who, Amon?
Amon has seen all he needs to see in this one.
Yep, he got his win, watched a little bit of the first half, and got out.
He knows he's in the playoffs. Super conservative, which again I don't disagree with. You know, as well. If this score holds, and it looks like it might, this is going to put a lot of pressure against Mangle Soda, which can certainly pull an upset.
Yeah, I've actually tuned in a couple of his games, Lorbass in the NCBB, and he's using the old Corn roster. And every couple seasons, when he's got a big group of seniors with some skills, the team actually looks competent out there, which is not something you say often about that roster. But he certainly he was actually in a very epic bowl game matchup. We took his roster with his senior bloodthirster. It had all 4 or 5 skills and whatever, and we put up against the Norse team, and it had a snow troll that had 4 to 5 skills, and they were the 2 best bigs in college, and the troll was nicknamed Karen, and it literally single-handedly beat Nelfine's Undead team earlier in the season and stuff, and it was an epic matchup, and we had a bet on which big would hurt the other or which big would have more casualties and all this cool stuff, and it was actually pretty entertaining.
I'm not going to say anything about Mangle Soda because I've tied them 3 times. I am 3 wins and 3 ties against that team. So the team doesn't have a lot of wins and doesn't even have a lot of ties, but I think I'm the majority of their ties.
Unfortunate. I mean, he's gotten so many top picks that you think several of those players could make plays. Like Paul Bunyan, that blitzer, I remember him from college. Like, that is a hell of a player. And like I said in my rant in our season preview, it's just a damn shame that he spends his whole career in Minnesota.
Yeah, and Nomad he's just outmanned here. He needed to push from turn 1, and he kind of stayed back. He played good defense, but this wasn't about playing good defense. You had to go win. You had to go win the game.
Yeah, I mean, when Grue was down 2 gorillas and a silverback,
yeah,
you've got to basically man mark him and then use your agility and go do something. I mean, I don't want to throw ghouls out there and just have Devonta Adams come over and smack him because that's not going to be very good. But you've got to find a way, I guess.
And you're going to go. You're going to end the game with that bribe still in hand, maybe, because he hasn't been.
Oh yeah, he hasn't really been fouling this half.
Hasn't been doing it this half. Just playing positional defense instead of I have to go score twice.
Or at least foul the bejesus out of the monkeys.
Which is how you go score twice, Getting the numbers is...
Yeah, if there's no more monkeys, it's much easier to get to the ball, yeah.
And he's got 6 out. I mean, there's no bait or anything. A bad KO roll and a score.
I mean, I understand why you want to cover that ape in the back, because it's, most... Like a human lino, for example, the most average lino you could think of, it's a 3+ to get the catch in the end zone from probably would have been like a midfield, maybe over midfield throw, which is not great odds, but that's a 2+ with that little legendary Pooh Bar guy. So I understand why you want to cover him. But
you may get the pass here. You may blitz off the ghoul with McPain, and then go ahead and make the throw now.
I think we just blitz Frank Gore with McPain and then make our way down the sideline.
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to risk the.
He could run backwards. That mummy's not going to catch him.
Well, yeah, actually, you could blitz off Frank Gore and then run backwards, and then nobody's going to catch him.
No. I mean, Matthew Pritchett, he's had a fine pro career, but when you go to college at Navy, I mean, you're just not used to winning, so he's not going to make a winning play here. I'm sorry.
It is a break tackle moment, so you have to go somewhere. You can't stay where you're at.
No, we're not getting a blitz with.
We're going to frenzy down the wall.
We're taking a 3-die with Adams. Granted, follow into 2-die, but pretty good odds of a takedown. Also, because you have the use of action movement, you're kind of in an awkward place where Adams can't quite complete the sideline cage or a regular cage here either. I mean, you do have a monkey free in the back, Mr.
To go for it, and Grue Novo can make a foul action, which would be fun. I'm not sure it's smart blood bowl, but it's fun.
I love how that's the first thing you see here.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way to complete the...
Ghoul's on the ground, he's armor 7. I can get an assist or 2. Go punch him in the face.
I'm over here saying, like, okay, we need to complete the sideline cage or, like, make a full cage here. And you're like, oh, that's a foul. I'm like, okay. I mean, Benny can do it. It's safer going for the foul with him than staying next to the mummy, I would argue. I know where I'm going to be.
The mummy's got break tackle, so you got to do something to keep him from getting to the ball.
Well, no, I'm
Which I still think you go for it. You've got to go make that hit now, and hope you roll the 5 or 6 on one of those 2 dodges.
Yeah, I was talking about Benny LeMay, the orangutan in the middle, up with that mummy. If I was Benny, I'd be like, Coach, let me go for the foul. I don't want to stand next to this guy. Yeah. Like, get me out of here.
I was just looking at the ball is not actually safe, and Aaron Jones does not have block.
It's true. His one weakness, also martinis, but that doesn't really apply here.
Yeah, I think you break tackle here and use the well, no.
I mean, you're marked by tackle, and that'd be like, what, a 5+? So either way, you need a 5 somewhere along the way, right?
And I'd much rather do it with the 2-dot than the uphill block.
Yeah. I'm trying to look for a way for Jim to get there, but you have to go through tackle for McPayne or Adams either way, so yeah, I think Mummy's our best call. I mean, the odds of getting a 5 or 6, like, you know, like a 5+, like it's 33% with no rerolls. It's not like that bad when you're desperate.
I mean, you get really 3 chances at getting it because you got break tackle. If you get the 6 on the first one, you don't use break tackle.
Exactly. So the odds are actually probably acceptable for a Hail Mary play, basically.
Yeah.
It's true.
Again, it's turn
right.
6 though. You know, if you get it, what happens then? Can you score?
I mean, Smitherman, I guess now is within range. So, oh, there's our 5, and there's our 1, and there's our 4.
But I mean,
well, damn, that's the play you had to make, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you add the 1 and the 4 to get 5 on the second roll?
No, but that was the right play. I mean, Nomad's gonna. Like I said, I don't think he pressed early enough, but that was the only shot he had left.
Certainly could have changed things if it had worked, but it was not to be.
This is just walking down the field, right?
Yeah, I'm looking for other players to give the ball to, but nobody really makes sense. I mean, McPayne is actually pretty damn close to Legend, I think is the term, 176.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Well, and I don't think you have to do it. I think you can do that next turn. I think you can go down there, make your cage. You know, get Pooh involved.
You just want Pooh to do something because you like saying Pooh
Pooh my favorite. That is the best name of all the monkeys. That's the best named monkey.
I mean, I think Chris McPayne is, but yeah, just no bias.
Yeah.
All right, what are the odds we get a foul on Devin Still here on the final turn? Like, it's 99.9%, right?
No, because I think Devin Still might be the blitz here.
Oh, you could blitz him free and...
Yeah, I think you're going to blitz the zombie.
Yeah, makes sense. Did you need that assist? Oh,
and you re-roll that. You absolutely re-roll this.
Could, I guess.
What are you doing with these re-rolls? I guess you're going to dodge out with Pooh keep Pooh alive?
Nah, Pooh got a job to do. He knows his role.
Yeah, if you're not dodged down with Pooh needed to...
Foul the goal? Yeah. I mean, if you're expecting to see this team in the playoffs, you might as well take out their ball-handling ghoul. Alas, that is not...
If you're going to do that, and it's not a bad play to leave Pooh there, you re-roll on the zombie, because...
You might as well, yeah.
These 5 re-rolls and these 8 team re-rolls between the 2 teams that are going into the locker room, you don't get any money for those.
It'd be interesting, though, if you could do something with re-rolls after a game, like turn them into extra SPPs or extra cash or something.
Well, in the playoffs, they matter, but...
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
This is not a playoff game.
No. It did have playoff implications, and Green Banana rose to the challenge, so... Good result here for Grue. Couple late KOs, so...
Couple of KOs, mark those guys as safe for next game.
Exactly.
Grue is excited about that. So does he hand off to McPayne for the touchdown?
Isn't this guy a sidestepper too?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is just going to get this ghoul surf.
I was going to say, aren't you risking your agility 4 guard ghoul to...
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there was a very minuscule chance you get a good result there, and then you have Frank Gore nearby for a pickup throw all the way to Smitherman. But I think, honestly, I'd rather keep the agility for Ghoul safe than to live to fight another day.
A tie at this point really just looks like you're the number 5 seed anyway at the best.
Yeah.
Like, well, actually, they need to win or tie their next game.
Who's Nomad got in the finale?
Mangle Soda. So he can't make the mistake against Mangle Soda.
That's right. Man, we need to hype up this game with Mangla so much. It'd be the only time we're ever gonna do coverage of a Mangla game.
Yeah, it'll be that last week is going to be super fun. We've only got a few more days of this left to see how it's going to shake out. But there's going to be some really clutch games. I mean, the big game of the week is going to be Atlanta, Carolina. That's number one.
So if you're listening, Nelphine and /Orwog, you should totally play that next Monday because I am consistently off on Mondays usually.
Are there any? I mean, we neglect the AFC because we're not in the AFC. And
it's not that I neglect them; so they don't tell me anything.
Yeah. Well, I just don't keep up. Like they don't affect my playoff spot.
Well, they're not. They're also not keeping up with. So. They're not keeping up with Baz either. So.
Yeah, Baz has run away with it. But I mean, like I said, the AFC East is super, super interesting. I'd love to see who's going to win that, and there's just no telling. It's up in the air for sure.
Yeah, and considering how much a couple of us were down on the non-Rel teams, specifically the Bull Centaurs and the Dwarves, I mean, it's nice to see them do well.
If you ask me right now, I would say, Rel's not winning his division.
Oh.
I'm willing to throw it down. I'm willing to say, it's going to be the Chaos Dwarves. They got Kansas City, who's had a rough season. They get hurt of for sure. And then they've got a, now busted up Jeffro Buffalo team, which is good, but I think he's lost a couple of key players along the way.
Unfortunate, but such is life in the NBFL.
Rookie witch elves and mean chaos dwarves don't go well together.
No, they usually do not.
But I'd love to see Jeffro prove me wrong. So, and play spoiler.
Yeah,
but he's been really good with the.
Fitz saying he gets New Zealand last. I'm just kidding, it's New Zealand. But okay, that is a.
It's a shame for as good a season he's had. He's in the toughest division for sure. So Buffalo is 4-3-6.
Jeffro gets KC.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
I think he meant to do the foul with the other zombie because he clicked blitz with that one and didn't foul with the dirty player. But,
despite what Baz says, these are good fouls. This is a rival. This is a playoff team you're going to see, or you hope to see.
Well, Baz didn't have an issue with that. It was a early season non-conference rival. So you're fouling somebody who you don't play again, but who still plays your rivals. But another story for another time. So good win by Grue. It looks like he's on track to get the number 1 seed in the NFC. Chicago still has a good shot to make the playoffs as long as he doesn't, get tripped up by Lorebass. So. We'll see how how it goes.
Vince is telling me I'm wrong about the schedule, but that's Yeah, Jeffro gets KC. Never mind.
I was gonna say both of you probably had a drink or
two. The Harriets and the Brewmore Gents are in round 7, and that might be for the division. So.
Okay, well they need to play Monday too then.
Yeah, that's a round 7 game we should keep our eyes on.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you, Dash, Malcor, everyone else. We will catch you next time, and good luck in your games. And God damn it, let us know when you're playing.
Yeah, use the scheduler. So easy. So easy. All right, take care.
Take care, guys.